Welcome to my studio. My studio is in South Minneapolis, and I used to run it as a commercial gallery, and I still curate the windows because the shop windows in this 100-year-old building are pretty wonderful. Let's go in. When you enter my workspace, you'll see the dog, and you'll see things hanging around. Maybe it'll be a large lace flag, some flying birds. You'll see the large embroidery machine, a chandelier object. There are always things happening here, including photography of the work. Sometimes there are works on the wall that are awaiting their crates, or they're awaiting their titles. Sometimes they're drawings that may or may not have anything to do with the digital embroidery. But most of my work is in 3 dimensions, and it is in digital embroidery. I am trained primarily as a sculptor, and that is how I think about things. With digital embroidery, I design in the computer. A design may be like this. This is part of my rivers design. And then it is output on one of 3 embroidery machines. On the really large machine, I can make single embroideries that are almost 4 feet wide. In this case, I am stitching on sheets of starch, which allow me to make a lace-like structure. And what I'm left with is a piece of artwork that is made entirely from thread. And I make many modules to put them together to form installations. Sometimes the modules might be used to make birds like these. These are lace that are flying above me, and it's a work in progress. I expect there to be many, many of these birds, some gray ones, some white ones, and I expect them to spiral up an atrium. This is the kind of work I'm the most known for in digital embroidery. Chromatic wave is a very modest size, but it shows off the characteristic of embroidery thread, which breaks up the light almost like a prism. Each of these pieces here, especially in the chromatic series, is working with very few colors of thread, but because of the gradients and the directions of the thread, it reads as many, many more colors. This piece, Chromatic Exertion, is a bunch of little 4-inch pieces, or they started really as 4-inch flat embroideries that I stitched up and scrunched to make a chromatic progression that looks like I've had to work really hard. Glossolalia is one of the newer pieces. It has maybe 50 or 60 separate modules in it that are put together to form a very imposing sculpture. Choice Point is another imposing piece. When I'm working with a single color, and especially a cool red like this, it really takes over the space in a very, very dramatic way. Upwelling is an expression of how I feel in the presence of beauty. It makes me gasp. It makes me pause. I take a deep breath and I feel a certain level of either peace or elation. This is only 2 colors of thread, but through gradients and shaping and order of stitching, it glows. And sometimes I don't know what to expect. In this piece, a column that's 6 feet tall, the threads behaved in ways that were unexpected, raising up and sinking in to give a mottled appearance. Procession is a piece that is also quite new, and it can be shown on the floor or on the wall. And it's many modules, two different kinds, and they're put together in different ways for dimensionality. And again, very few colors of thread. I think there are 3 here, but it reads like a peacock, full of color. And art, for me, is a very serious business. It is about the awakening of the soul. It does wonderful things for us. But just because art is a serious business doesn't mean it can't be playful. I really like making work that people have to manipulate to find out how they work and how they might want to show things. This one is one of the very first playthings that I made. I call the whole group Playthings for Adults. And it's titled Dynamic Accumulation. There are a lot of ways to show it. And I want people who own the work to enjoy that aspect of them. This is the newest piece coming out of the studio. Its title is Escape Capsule, and it's about 52 inches wide by 24 inches tall, and it uses only 3 colors of thread, a red, orange, and a blue, and it gives off a coppery glow. Thank you for viewing this presentation. If you want more information, please feel free to contact me. Susan at SusanHenselProjects.com.